Michael Jackson nearly destroyed the Thriller video because of his faith, and the world almost lost one of the most famous music videos of all time. Now, imagine Michael Jackson on the phone, panicking, ordering his lawyer to destroy the Thriller footage, burn it, erase it, just make sure no one ever sees it. He wasn't worried about the critics, the money, or the fame. He was terrified of losing his religion. This is the story of how Michael Jackson's faith almost unalived Thriller, and how one line of text saved the most iconic music video ever made. At the height of his powers, Michael Jackson was not just the biggest pop star on earth, he was also a devoted Jehovah's Witness. Now, to his fans, Thriller was a fun, horror short film with zombies and werewolves. To his religious community, it looked like something much darker, a flirtation with cults. When church elders saw what Thriller contained, transformation into monsters, graveyard scenes, dancing zombies, they didn't see entertainment, they saw demonology. They warned Michael that if he went ahead with it, his standings in the congregation could be in danger. That put him in an impossible situation. Global superstardom on one side, and on the other, the spiritual community he'd been grown up in and feared losing. Michael always tried to keep his career and faith from clashing, but Thriller forced them to collide. The video wasn't just another music clip. This was a 14-minute short film directed by John Landis with a budget and a scale way beyond anything music TV had seen. Behind the scenes, people were excited. They knew this could change the music industry forever, but as the footage came together, the pressure from Michael's religion circled and just kept building. Elders in the Jehovah's Witness reportedly told him the video promoted spiritualism and cults, things strictly forbidden in their doctrine. For them, it wasn't just a video, it was a spiritual problem, something that could corrupt both Michael and his audience. Michael took this serious, and he wasn't just casually affiliated, he went door to door as witnesses studied their teachings and tried to live by their rules. And suddenly, the thing that was supposed to cement his legacy looked like it might cost him his spiritual home. In a moment of fear and guilt, Michael picked up the phone, he called his lawyer, John Branca, he gave him a shocking instruction: destroy everything. Destroy everything negative of the Thriller video. Think about that. Months of work, hundreds and thousands of dollars, and a piece of pop culture history. Michael was ready to erase it all because he believed he was offending God. Branca immediately understood the scale of what Michael was asking. Now, he knew this wasn't just a business decision, it was a spiritual crisis. If he obeyed, Thriller would vanish before the world ever saw it. Branca looked for a way to calm Michael's conscience and still protect the project. The solution he proposed was surprisingly simple. Words, not images. A disclaimer. What if, Branca suggested, they clearly stated before the video that Michael did not endorse any cults or any supernatural beliefs shown in the film? That this was just entertainment, a kind of movie, not a message about his real world beliefs. That's how they arrived at the iconic opening text that you see today. Any similarity to belief in the cult is purely coincidental. Michael is not promoting demonology or spirit worshiping, it's a work of fiction. Legally, it distanced Michael from accusations of promoting cults. Spiritually, it gave him something to point to, a public statement that he wasn't turning his back on his faith, even while the world watched him dance with zombies. That one block of text saved the video, but the disclaimer didn't erase Michael's inner conflict. Even after Thriller became a phenomenon, he still wrestled with whether he'd done the right thing spiritually. He later wrote a letter for a Jehovah's Witness publication expressing regret about the video. He said he didn't want to encourage belief in cults and promised he wouldn't make anything like that ever again. It was his attempt to repair the damage with his religious community. At the same time, Thriller was breaking records everywhere. It boosted album sales, changed MTV forever, and helped define the music video as an art form. The world was celebrating, but Michael was caught between public triumph and private guilt. The tension started growing distant between Michael and Jehovah's Witnesses. He couldn't even reconcile the creative freedom that he wanted to with the strict lines that they drew. Eventually, he left the religion altogether, but that was a few years later. It's easy now to see Thriller as a fun Halloween classic, copy the dance moves, and dress up like characters without thinking twice. But behind that piece of pop culture is a very human story and identity. Michael was the most famous man on the planet, yet he was terrified of disappointing a small group of elders in a religious congregation. He almost sacrificed his greatest artistic achievement to protect his spiritual standing. In the end, he compromised. With a few lines of text that let him sleep a little better and let the video live, Thriller didn't just change music videos, it also exposed the private battle Michael was fighting between expectations of his faith and the demands of his art. And for a moment, The battle came down to a single phone call and a lawyer who decided not to press delete on history. So the next time you watch the Thriller music video and that white text appears before the music even starts, don't skip it. That disclaimer is there because Michael Jackson almost chose faith over fame and tried to bury the video forever.